Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to Nerd Tube. This is Friday Night Breakdown, baby, and we are here with D Jose 101, our resident wrestling expert. How you doing, mate?
Doing all right. Let's do this.
And of course, another wrestling fan and our resident nerd tuber himself, Pipe Bomb Gary. How you doing, mate?
I did all right, mate.
Fantastic. So, if a lot of people will know that we've had more releases than a variety of pop bands with a brand new fucking album. Yeah, WWE have done it again. And so, Jose, let us know the score, my friend. What's going on with these WWE releases?
All right. Well, as you guys may or may not know, if you live under a rock or if you just really don't give a shit like we do, because we've kind of fallen out of love with wrestling, NXT is going through a goddamn revamp. Why? Because Triple H, with his NXT indie style, he tried to compete with AEW. It didn't fucking work. Vince McMahon can't have that. So, what are we going to do? We're going to go out with the old guard and in with the new guard. And the two big releases so far are William Regal and Samoa Joe. For William Regal, ouch. His kind of hurts because that's a dude that has so much knowledge, product knowledge, and so much like ring psychology and all that kind of shit that he knows. And he's scouted guys and he's given guys a chance in NXT. And them letting him go, it's a fucked up move, but this is a business world. As far as Samoa Joe goes, Father Time had caught up to Joe. He's injury prone. He always gets hurt all the time. So as a wrestler, I don't really see what his future would have been. But as a trainer, coach, talent scout, WWE totally fucked up on that. So those are the two releases that we know of so far. And we know that Shawn Michaels has been running the show since Triple H, I guess, has had congestive heart issues going a while back. So that's what's been going on with NXT.
So, would you say that maybe it's more Shawn Michaels' fault than Triple H's fault in recent weeks? Considering Triple H is under the knife.
I don't know. I think with Shawn Michaels, they made it sound like it was a one-man show. Like Shawn has been doing every fucking thing, and I guess he's been blocking people left and right. If you criticize NXT, he doesn't like it. But I think with NXT, here's my thoughts. I think now that AEW is here, AEW could be looked at as NXT. Like, if you want your matches and moves, go watch AEW. Because if you want to see guys doing 100 moves, 200 moves within a span of 10, 15, 20 minutes, AEW is going to give you that. And with NXT, they're trying to go back to larger-than-life characters with, like, this mobster dude named Tony D'Angelo. Rick Steiner's kid, known as Braun Breaker, which is a stupid fucking name, but he can go. He's apparently really, really good from what I've seen. And yeah, I don't know. I think that with DX kind of running the ship, Vince didn't like the fact that they failed. And now here we go. The black and gold is dead. Now we're going back to 1994 with the neon colors and shit.
Well, what upsets me the most is that we've already got the sort of wrestling Vince likes in Raw and SmackDown anyway. NXT is about invention, trying things new, and him having to basically go back to the well and go with tried and tested is not necessarily going to make things better. NXT, with NXT, in my opinion, is the lack of star power, and it's not there for star power. It's a flamboyant training show, so to speak. It's there to make new stars, not hash out old stars. You could maybe sprinkle a little bit of Stardust here and there, just for the sake of it. Oh, look, somebody's come in, like maybe Charlotte Flair.
They're doing that now. They brought AJ Styles into NXT, yeah, exactly. So I get why they're doing it, because it does make sense for it to go back to being a developmental brand, because for years Triple H thought, the indie style would work, and for a time it did, but ultimately it didn't increase the viewership all that much. They couldn't beat AEW a whole lot when they tried to go to war, and there's only so much of the indie style shit that you can do before it's just like it gets played out,
Sorry, boss man, I'll get to you in a second, but AEW is the star show compared
Mm-hmm.
to NXT. AEW's got the superstars. So if you're using a developmental talent show versus a show stacked full of stars, ex-WWE guys as well, then there's no contest there, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. You know what way the pendulum's going to swing.
Yeah. Bossman, what you got to add to this, mate?
Well, the thing is that, like, usually they do this like the start of the year, they release like a load of talent. But the thing is, because last year they released, like, shed loads of talent because of, I think is that, there was a load of talent releases because Nick Khan has decided that he just wants to cut a load of talent. The thing is that I think people went through the talent roster. I think it's over like 200 guys. So their talent roster is bloated as it is. But the thing is that, like, why get rid of talent who could train up your next people? Like you got William Regal who does it. You got who could do it. I mean, the thing is that why get rid of that? The people who could cultivate your next batch of people. Because the thing is that because AEW should step him up to do that, to train up guys to get them, camera ready and stuff like that, to treat him that sort of stuff. Because for me, and the thing is that I think one good run out of Joe with Punk would be great because that would do gangbusters for AEW. I'd watch it. I know it's an older Joe, but like I think he could.
I just think the landscape of wrestling, we spoke about this in the past, it's not like it once was. Like Vince is not too concerned that like a decent wrestler is going to go to AEW, that's all they really can go to. I mean, the WWE is the number one show, and even they are losing viewers every fucking day. It's just not what like the field, the landscape is not what it once was. That's why he's getting rid of everybody. Last year, he was pretty much getting rid of everybody every month.
Yep.
So, a lot of the crew is here.
Yes, the crew is here. Yes, we are. Where are you?
As I said, well, that's it. That was Vince. That was Nick Khan, though. The thing is that, like, Tori Storm just quit.
Yeah, she also quit.
They weren't pushing her enough. I mean, the thing is, Tori Storm's an excellent wrestler. They messed her up.
It's like Mick Foley said.
Because if you look at what they
go ahead. I don't know if he froze, but
I was just going to say, it's like you look at the guys that the guys who they brought up to the main roster. Almost all of them, apart from one or two, they've absolutely got wrong. I mean, you look what they did to Karrion Kross.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy went from having probably one of the best entrances in wrestling with, Scarlett doing the whole black and white thing, him running the ring and, like, having the fire and the smoke and stuff like that, and him, like, just doing that very slowly, and then...
Karrion went from basically being a badass to a basic creative wrestler. That's what he kind of reminds me of.
And then he had the helmet and everything like that. It was just, and the funny... I won't even call them jock straps. I mean...
Yeah. I think part of it has to do with the fact too that it all goes back to WWE. They're about building the brand. They're not about building superstars and megastars anymore. We're long past that. That's something you're never going to see again. You're never going to see another like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're never going to see another Rock. You're never going to see another Shawn Michaels. It just won't happen in today's day and age.
And it all worried about losing power. That's why, because the moment you create a superstar, then you end up having to barter with them.
I think what it was I think the beginning of the end happened when Rock went Hollywood. That was the moment Vince was like, okay, fuck this shit. I'm not making superstars anymore. I'm going to make my brand as big as I can make it.
Yeah, but we had John Cena. He was big, larger than life, and Batista, who will both become Hollywood. Batista more so than ever.
Both are taking over the world right now.
I would never, in my wildest dreams, Rock, yes, Cena, yes, never in my wildest dreams would have thought that Batista would be a credible Hollywood fucking actor.
I know, you go back and you go watch his films now and you're like, damn, this dude actually is really fucking good.
Yeah, but people are taking over Hollywood by storm. They could be stuntmen as well if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go on, boss man.
But the thing is that I think from I think something's happened to Vince McMahon in the last 5-10 years.
He got
He's gone
old.
from trying to have good. I don't know, he got old, but I don't know. But something's happened because he's going to like having weird things like going like this egg is great, there. It's a great, it's like what the hell's with this egg? You're paying for Bird Notice and all that's not Bird Notice, Red Notice. And then I can guarantee you, right, Rex Steiner has like money written all over him.
If that dude doesn't, if that dude doesn't main event a WrestleMania in the next like 3 years, they know they fucked up. Because that's how good he is. He's the type of dude that you could, he's the type of dude you could see legit main eventing WrestleMania in 3 years' time.
Well, I think what my problem with wrestling is when I decide to go and take a trip down memory lane and watch a little bit of wrestling, I think to myself, fucking hell, what is going on here? We're getting fucking reality TV now. You know what I mean? We're getting like these wrestlers doing little snippets in fucking hotel rooms and, like, where's the wrestling going? It's like, and before, like, you would have some of the reality TV element with the backstage segments. Now they're out and about. They're filming on location and shit.
And you want to know what it is, too? Not to sound like the old dude, but here I go. It's these kids with these fucking phones now. Put your fucking phones away, you goddamn kids. You're at a wrestling event, for fuck's sake. When they're on the screen, you don't need to be looking at your fucking phone.
I agree. I mean, but no one can keep their attention.
No, this is the ADD generation after all. So, that's why talent have to do so many moves to get a reaction nowadays. That does explain it.
Yeah,
oh man,
it's very unfortunate. And as you said, this is the downfall. Now we spoke about on Messenger about you thinking that Vince McMahon is going to sell.
It's going to happen eventually. It's not now, but it will.
So
it will.
I really don't think so. I think he is too much of a hoarder, even though he's releasing people. I think he's too greedy. He's too power hungry. He gets rid of wrestling. He sells it. Then what does he have? He might have lots of money, and he has lots of money right now. It's not like he doesn't, yeah. But you need to have an asset, yeah, and he doesn't have one if he sells it. Like the XFL's a fucking joke.
Yeah, the XFL, he sold that to The Rock, didn't he? For I think almost $1 billion or some shit. Because I know he sold it. Yeah.
That's a fucking joke. He went too well again with that.
The thing is that I think we're going to see Nick Khan. I think we're going to see Nick Khan take over.
Yeah, Nick Khan is going to be the one. Nick Khan is going to be the one that. Nick Khan is going to be the one that takes over instead of Triple H because
we need the territories back, man.
We'll never get those back. We'll never get those back. Yeah, wrestling, I believe.
That's the worst thing to happen to wrestling. Vince McMahon buying everyone out and not having territory for people to spread their wings and fly and all of that. Oh god, it's such a shame. Without territories, I think wrestling is dead.
Well, get trained,
get trained, go get seasoning, or if you're in the twilight of your career or past the twilight of your career, then you would go elsewhere just to wrap your career up. Because that was the point of territories. Like if you went to Memphis is where you usually go like when your career is about to end. And it's like, all right, I'm at the end of my career, so now I'm going to go down that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. Territories is something you'll never get back.
And that's why I feel like wrestling's on its last legs. But someone like Vince McMahon, I think it's an ego trip for him. He's won too many battles in his past. And I'm saying I think people give him too much credit that he's going to win every battle he's in. No, he will lose. He will lose, and I think we're coming up to a loser right now. But will he sell? I don't think so. I mean, the guy.
The thing is that like his viewership keeps on disappearing. And the thing is that
yet they're making more money than they ever fucking have.
Yeah, because of like
all the deals they take. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what you're
that AEW.
Go ahead.
That AEW could now hoover up the ROH guys who now, have nowhere to work, and I probably wouldn't go work for Vince McMahon because they probably know what stupid things they have them doing. Like, we'll have them work being lineman tamers, you'll have them being flaming guys who like to do drop toe holes and God knows what else. I think it's because they have a lot of talent that they could pick up. And the thing is that if I was AEW, here's what I do. Make it my mission to put on the best wrestling product out there. Screw what WWE are doing. Just have really good matches. I raiding the guys who do 457 fucking super kicks every match. Make it special.
Even with
I don't care what anyone says. CM Punk versus MJF.
It's been good. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of it. But I think with AEW, what's going to happen is Tony's like, if it were up to me, I'd sign everybody. But, dude, you can't do that. WCW made the same mistakes. They signed guys just so Vince wouldn't have them. And then what happened? You would bring like maybe 75 guys to TV and maybe 30 guys would work. That's going to be the same fucking thing that happens to Tony Khan and AEW. His roster is going to get way too fucking big.
I think Vince is really harsh on Trips or Sean, whoever's running NXT as well.
Both of them.
It's not like Vince was losing the rating wars at one particular point. He was.
Yeah, he was getting his ass kicked. They were almost done. WWF was this close to being dead. They were about to die in 1997.
So he was losing the rating wars, and that was down to him. There was nobody else to blame but him. What did he do? Put himself in a box to punish himself? No, he didn't. He just kept persevering, and eventually, they ended up taking over and buying out their competitors. To go back to the well and try old school tactics with NXT, it's just going to ruin it even more. As you said earlier, wrestling is done. You know what I mean? It is absolutely done. It's very hard to get new fans in. Old fans are leaving. There's no way to go with this particular product. They could try every trick in the fucking book. It's not going to work.
Here's how I equate it, and I think you guys will agree. If you want your theater, that you go to WWE because WWE is theater entertainment. If you want your acrobatics and your matches and moves and your like 457,000 super kicks, 2 Canadian destroyers, and a bunch of table spots, AEW is where you're going to go. If you want the old school shit, you go to Peacock or the network or you torrent that shit or do what you do. That's where you're going to get your fill with wrestling because as far as current day stuff, I don't think either company is really going to get their audience up. I really don't.
I have one method, and that's what it's come to think of it. But it's what Vince doesn't like his wrestlers doing is earning money where he doesn't make any of it, which is basically doing stuff like Twitch TV, gaming channels, and
letting them get outside of WWE, basically. Yeah,
promoting themselves outside of the company, which will then bring eyes into the company. That's one of the best things to do. But Vince is so fucking greedy that he doesn't like that shit happening.
Because you got to remember, like not that long ago, some of the divas, and I hate using that term, divas, were doing Playboy covers,
and
that would they would bring it to the publicity. Sable and China and Tori Wilson and Fabian, Maria and Maurice. I'm sure I'm forgetting some others who did it as well. And all of them brought eyes onto the product. And the thing is that that's what you want. You want a guy you want guys who have cross media exposure. See what you want about Hulk Hogan. Good, bad, or
that dude could talk. I'll give him that. He knew how to talk his way into an arena and sell tickets. I'll give Hogan that.
But he went cross-platform. He went on Arsenio Hall. He went on maybe, the fame talk shows.
Saturday Night Live.
Going on talk shows and stuff like that is not necessary. You're still promoting the business, but with the social media aspect we have now, boss man, you don't have to promote WWE for shit. But if people recognize you or know that, this guy's actually a wrestler. This guy is playing this video game. Let me see what he's like at wrestling.
You want to know the crazy thing? There's kids today. This makes me feel really fucking old. There's kids today that know Dwayne Johnson as a movie star first. Then they found out that this motherfucker is a wrestler, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, Oh, you kids, if you only fucking knew.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
if you,
exactly.
yeah.
But he's been an actor for about 20 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and I still refer to him
But he
more
comes
as
back
The
every now,
Rock than
every
Dwayne
now and again.
Johnson. Sorry,
He said he comes back every now and again. But again,
he hasn't been back for years now.
But the thing is that I mean, I don't know if we want to go into things that happened this year that are significant. Because this is where we need someone like a shredder who could like go into what I'm about to go into. But I think that it's that we lost a lot of great talent to death. But like a guy who I think is underappreciated as hell retired, and that was Sabu. The guy is so underappreciated for being as innovative as he is and as influential. Which as I said, a lot of guys who were much more higher status with him would pay to be.
I heard there was some negativity regarding Sabu, unfortunately, that he was a bit of a bullshit artist. Are you guys able to elaborate on that?
Sabu, I heard, I think, yeah, this is why I wish Shredder was here with us, because he would elaborate on this shit.
Yeah, there was a message, something, I can't find it. I mentioned, I forgot what he was on about, but I briefly mentioned that it sounds like Sabu was inhaling a lot of glue that he was using to cover up his wounds.
Yeah.
And he seemed like to be chatting a lot of shit and probably hallucinating from it.
And didn't he fucking stiff promoters too? That's like, I think the big thing I've heard about Sabu is that he stiff promoters. Like he's like, yeah, I want this, and then otherwise I'm not coming to your show or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Living off his name.
But in regard to 2021, since this is Friday Night Jackdown and that kind of shit, I think as far as 2021, WWE, they finally got the fuck out of the Thunderdome. Thank God. That was their biggest thing this year. They finally got to get yep. They've got the crowd now, but you want to know the crazy thing? They still got the piped in fucking noise. That will never go away.
I hate that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the thing is that if they did that, they would have to report that most of their wrestlers wrestle to this.
Yep. But they do that. They do that now.
No, Jose, shush. This is what they wrestle to. Nothing, because the fans aren't invested in more. They're invested because WWE hasn't put, because one of the things WWE does better than AEW, and until they catch up, is present people as stars. But then they'll do something stupid with them. They'll turn Keith Lee, who is a mountain of a man who moves like
he moves like a fucking cruiserweight for a 300-pounder.
Yeah. But then what do you have him do? Have him like dress up in stuff that doesn't look flattering, and then have him call himself Bearcat.
The Bearcat thing I don't have a problem with, because that is a throwback to a really old school wrestler before our time. But yeah, that I don't have an issue with. But they didn't know what the fuck to do with Keith Lee. They didn't know what the fuck to do with Karrion Kross. I'm surprised. And here's something I recently found out too with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was supposed to be the one going back to NXT recently. He was going to go to NXT and work a program down there, but he ended up getting released too.
Intervening regarding Sabu, I finally found it now. It's actually something you posted, Boss Man. It was regarding Triple H being accused of putting multiple wrestlers in wheelchairs, and this was something Sabu.
Sabu recorded that.
Yeah, Sabu was going on about that. Now, look, we spoke about this very briefly regarding Triple H. He's not the most extravagant wrestler in the world, but he can wrestle. Yeah, he's a good worker, and he's superb on the microphone. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about any of those things. Yeah, but we do feel that he kind of got the additional push. But there's a lot of wrestlers who are good workers, can put people over and are good on the microphone, and they never get anywhere in their fucking careers. Yeah, Triple H, he kind of got somewhere in his career because he fucking was banging the boss's daughter. And this thing regarding him putting people in wheelchairs, I'm sorry, but
I've never seen that. I've never seen it. I've seen the one devastating pedigree. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's the one where Triple H goes to pedigree a guy, and the guy prematurely jumps, and his fucking neck almost snaps back. That's probably the most
dangerous
devastating pedigree I've ever seen him
It's
do.
a dangerous move, and like a lot of people, a lot of wrestlers don't like landing flat on their body because they're too worried about fucking over that. Like especially your face is possibly hitting the mat.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of wrestlers they can't help themselves. It's a natural thing. Like I've seen it with like Kane, for instance. Every time he gets pedigreed, he brings the knees in.
Yep.
And he lands on his knees, so he doesn't go face first on the mat.
And they always tell you too when you're supposed to be taking certain moves like the pedigree, you always tuck your fucking chin in. That's what you got to do.
Oh, the styles clash as well. People. Like your instinct is to maybe put your head this way, but you really
you got to go up.
Way.
Yeah, you got to go up with the styles clash.
Exactly. And that's why wrestling is no joke. You know what I mean? Like you've got to remember how to do or how to take a particular move. Once in the fucking blue moon. Like the Styles Clash is done by AJ Styles. Not many other people do it. Other than him.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's your turn to wrestle him, you got to remember how you take that particular unique move.
Yeah.
And that's what it's an amazing business. And don't get me wrong, Triple H's wrestling move is a dangerous one. The pedigree is no fucking joke. You know what I mean? It's not like the attitude adjustment, which is a piece of piss.
Yeah, all it is you just lift them up and you drop them. Carry. That's it. Yep, yeah, it's exactly. A fireman carry.
Landing on your back is the best way to be as a wrestler. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's the flattest surface and stuff like that. So,
some guys you don't have to get up for their moves; they get you up. If you know what I mean, like Brock Lesnar will get you up for whatever moves he wants.
Yeah, F5 is a piece of cake, man.
Yeah, the F5 is one of the easiest moves to take.
Yeah, man. Like but
I'm talking about the suplexes and stuff he does. Like, I mean, because the guy's ridiculously strong. Like this is a guy who could legitimately, once upon a time, bullied to belly flaming Big Show, who was like 500 pounds.
Yeah, and Kurt Angle said, like, if I had a choice between wrestling a Triple H or a Brock Lesnar, I'm going to go with Triple H every time. Because Triple H is much safer versus Brock, where Brock, he could suplex the fuck out of you and you'd feel it the next day. At least the one thing.
You go through multiple suplexes, you're going to feel it.
You're going to feel it.
Do that.
Yep.
Triple H is more smash mouth wrestling, which is basically a lot easier to deal with. Throwing kicks and stuff like that, behind a few knees and stuff like that. When they're throwing out their repertoire of moves. So yeah, I've never looked at Triple H as somebody. I've never ever looked at him as somebody who is careless in the ring.
No, he's always been safe.
You'd hear more about him being a careless wrestler. Not just now. After he's pretty much retired. That you hear about it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You've been hearing about people like Ryback and Brock Lesnar being a bit crazy in the ring, but anyway, go on.
Okay, let's see. Where the fuck were we? Oh, yeah, okay. Speaking of Triple H with this whole NXT shit, I guess he's losing power. So what do you guys think about that shit? Because with Vince coming in and taking every fucking thing, makes you wonder what the fuck is he going to do?
I reckon what it'll be is that NXT will either not be on the network or will just be like SCW, where it'll just be a local program. They'll start phasing it out slowly but surely. Because the thing is,
on the internet, though.
Exactly. This will be like Elevation or
Dark.
That's what this will be now, because this will just be the training facility. They're not trying to because the thing is that NXT 10 years ago or something like that was an excellent product. You had Nakamura, it had Sami Zayn, it had
Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe. I could think of a ton of dudes they had like 5-10 years ago. Seth Rollins, Reigns, Ambrose, Bray Wyatt. They had a ton of dudes.
But now it just seems like it just seems to be developmental to try every goofy gimmick under their flaming sun.
Well, he's going to have a lot of his yes men, though, isn't he? He's going to have all his Bruce Pritchards and all those fuckers. They're going to all of the over the hill.
Like Dexter Lumis, I can't
Guys,
see him.
Cut the camera 10. Cut the camera 10 right now. You're also going to have that too.
Yeah, Dexter Lumis flaming.
Can you pull up that last comment?
No problem. This is from
Vince. Okay, Vince clearly has no business sense or inkling of what fans like. Dude, on the list of things Vince cares about, I guarantee you fans are damn near, if not at the bottom of that fucking list.
He demands that fans like,
what he likes.
He's an abusive husband in that sense. You know what I mean? You have to, you have to like what I tell you to like. You don't make me like what you want to like. You have to like what I want to like, and that's how it's gonna go. Brother.
I'm gonna do my Vince impression. All right. I don't give a damn what you people want because you'll want what I want and you'll want it when I tell you you want it, damn it. And that's exactly what his philosophy is. You're going to want what I want when I tell you you want it.
And he has an abusive relationship with millions of people, possibly billions at one point.
Well,
yeah, but like all people in abusive relationships, many of them end up leaving. And I'm one of them. I think you guys are those as well. You know what I mean? We're voyeurs now. That's what we are. It's not like we just totally dislike wrestling. I like to keep an eye out. Look at here and there and wonder what level of stupidity is going on within the WWE.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though I agree with Zam on this, like, okay, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley are older, so the match is not going to be as epic as it could have been, like, let's say 10 years ago. But I'm still going to see that match because I'm like, okay, dude, we're finally getting Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Will it be as epic as it could have been? Probably not, but I think it'll be a smash mouth, in your face kind of thing. And I'll take what I can get, and I'm going to enjoy seeing that. Beyond that, there's not much to really get excited about. There is a rumor, though, that they could be fucking ending this brand split shit by having both titles be unified for the umpteenth fucking time.
Fucking woman, it's a brand split, and it's not a brand split.
Well, the thing is that like Cultaholic, what culture, one of the two, did their predictions for next year, and their number one prediction was that Vince McMahon is going to press the panic button, and he's going to bring in Vince Russo.
Okay, well, all right. Well,
you're going back to the fucking well again. Instead of bringing in brand new people to maybe give things a go and take it to a different direction.
I'm going to go ahead and give a bold prediction myself then, since they have this take. All right.
Bring back Eric Bischoff, for fuck's sake.
They tried that. They tried that. Funny you mentioned that. It didn't fucking work.
That's about 2 weeks.
Yeah, same thing with Heyman. They brought in Heyman to be the executive director, and his first night in, they did like an old school style, like somebody got speared through the fucking stage, and all they did was focus on that for like the first hour of the show, and they made it sound like both guys died or some shit. And it's like, this is not going to pass as fucking edgy television now.
Heyman as a creative, I don't think so anymore.
No.
I think he was very good at the time, but even time has passed him as well. Keep him as a manager, keep him as a mouthpiece, but creative, like some of these guys, as good as he once was, not anymore, unfortunately.
Here's what I'm going to predict. Interest for Raw will go down further than what it's been recently. The lowest that they got was 1.4. It's going to drop to 1.2 or 1.3 million people.
I want it to be under 1 million. Oh my god, that was so happy.
But that's AEW because to them. And if AEW takes over Raw, Vince is pushing that panic button, and he will bring in Vince Russo.
Yeah, I think it's going to go even further than that. I expect to see John Cena and maybe even more of Stone Cold Steve Austin and more legends because
Stone Cold Steve Austin's in his 50s.
I know, but here's my point.
You won't wrestle for sure.
I know, but here's my point. Whenever I hear the word panic button, I think, oh my God, here come the legends. So Vince will be bringing in legends. That's going to be a go-to.
Sure. I mean, the thing is, the thing is that will that work? Because he totally beats people at the Survivor Series. With, is the Rock going to show up?
No, it won't work because they've done this Legends bullshit so many times in the past that the last time they did this, I think they got 1.6 million views, and that was a year ago.
Well, as I said, what AEW need to do is just put on really good stories with really good wrestlers and just have them fucking wrestle. They beat WWE. Because the thing is, people getting tired of this shit of it going forward a pattern of The thing is that plus the thing is WWE has guys I like. It's got Drew McIntyre. It's got Edge. It's got flaming like your. I don't know like Seth Rollins. It's got.
It's got Lashley. It's got Lesnar. It's got a bunch of guys. But I think
I think
going to
start buying fans. By the way, in my opinion, he's going to start giving money away because he's going to start trying to.
He
buy
did that
viewers.
before too. He did that before too. I remember that when the viewership went down, and he was like, "Oh shit! So what am I going to do? I'm going to start giving away $1 million of my own money every week."
And you know what?
That reminds me
these fuckers go back to the well all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll start trying to bribe people to watch the goddamn show.
So do you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember when Krusty was losing his channel to a flaming ventriloquist dummy? He goes, every time you watch my show, I'll give you $100. Jack would not be validated. It's just like
I think what you're going to see with
that, it's like you have to pay people to watch.
I think also what it is too, the one point that we forget to mention is the fans themselves. Do y'all notice that only hardcores are left? Do y'all notice that shit? That's a scary thing.
These are the fuckers who take over shows you see at WrestleMania and shit like that, and go to the Raw show the following day. But WWE, in a way, hates those fans.
Yeah, they don't like the hardcores. They don't.
The hardcore, they take over and they can't. I see some fans, they're trying to just cut a generic promo and they realize shit, and then because the fans are chiming in and cutting out what they're saying, and they're still trying to say these same lines, these same generic lines, and they're probably told, that you can't fucking deviate.
Nope. You have to recite your promos verbatim.
And then you see how scripted they come across and how wooden they come across. Because the fans are getting involved. Vince McMahon, the moment the fans decide to chime in, he himself
shuts that shit down.
But he goes against his own rule book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's allowed. He always goes against his own fucking rules that he gives to everybody else. You stick to the script, except for me, or maybe someone like Shawn Michaels can get away with it, or Triple H can get away with it.
Because
you know what I mean? Yeah.
So basically, what I think is going on is. This it's like Vince is just going. Well, people are just people want to see this. It's just like, dude, people move on. The thing is that the wrestling audience is moving on, and there's nobody coming in to replace them. And that's the biggest problem that you have. Because the thing is, you got to find a way to attract new viewers. So the thing is, you could probably do like storylines from the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. Because a lot of the new fans wouldn't have seen it before, but you've got to find the person or persons that make them want to come in.
They can't because it's good. It's like I said earlier, you're not going to get over unless I tell you that you can, and no one's going to be a megastar in my company anymore. That's the way it is. I'm not going to let you get outside of my company. I can't have
the long-term and negative effects that Vince, which is coming home to roost now. All the controlling with an iron grip Vince is done with wrestling, and his way or the highway, not giving in to fans, just being very generic with his wrestling style and everything.
And here's the thing.
Home to roost.
And you want to know the funny thing? All three of us can now call ourselves casuals. And even we don't watch this shit because we used to be hardcore fans. All three of us, you, me. All three of us are now casual fans. And
if I want to watch wrestling, I do not watch WWE. I watch AEW.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like WWE, they pushed away their hardcore audience and their casual audience, and they fucked up.
I mean, I'm sorry. The hard line for me was when he spent about 20 minutes having fucking Alexa Bliss with her doll sitting there cutting this flaming promo that went nothing but nowhere. And it's not her fault. It's because she's been told to say this bullshit.
Yeah, it's because everything in WWE is micromanaged. That's another problem.
But the thing is I don't care about this doll. I mean, it's a bloody doll. It's like, ooh, isn't it scary? No, it's a bloody doll.
Yeah.
I found it. I mean, the only doll I've ever found scary has been Flaming Chucky.
You want to know the last thing that genuinely got over that cracked me the fuck up? Jericho's list was the last inanimate object that I remember that actually got over out of everything they ever did. That's because that's just how
and
good
even
Chris
Jericho's
Jericho
lost
is.
his touch now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we've spent a lot of time on WWE, so now we need to move to AEW before we wrap this shit up. Speaking of Jericho, let's go there.
All right, but the thing is that I'm a huge Chris Jericho fan. And the thing but the thing is, I'm also a huge Sting fan. Now, the good thing is that the guy, I think he's nearly 60. He's got to be nearly 60.
Oh, he's over 60. He's over 60.
Right.
The thing is that easily.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I think should happen, and this is just me if I was booking it, is either Darby Stillers or Sting. Yeah, I think that's what should happen. Darby Stillers and Sting, and they have a retirement match for Sting. There, he gets to go on top. And maybe, this is just me if I was putting it, you get Excalibur off it and you get Sting in there. Because you want somebody who would add credibility to your flaming, to your wrestling booth. Sting would do that instantly. This is a 2-time NWA World Champion. This is a 3-time WCW champion. This is a flaming guy who's a legend. I hate using the word legend, but he is. I mean, apart from Flair, who I think has lost some credibility because of everything that's come out.
Fuck Ric Flair. Yep.
This guy has credibility with him.
Yeah. I honestly, seeing Sting, wrestle again doesn't appeal me at all. For me, when I think of a man in the 60s, I don't think of somebody who should wrestle anymore.
Yeah,
I don't even think Jericho should wrestle anymore. Just hang out with Fozzy, cut your fucking hair, but you're looking like my old auntie. You know what I mean? And
the thing is, he's put on a lot of weight. I mean, this is a guy who's very lean and now looks like.
Dude, it's going to happen as you age. I mean, you can't really fault Jericho for that.
And the guy's a fucking athlete as well. He's in the ring and he's still not shedding the pounds.
Yeah.
I'm worried that one day he's going to do a line salt and fucking fuck himself up or.
Kind of like, what's his name? Yeah. Hayabusa. When Hayabusa did that shit, I'll never forget that shit. When I saw that, I was like, goddamn.
These guys shouldn't have to be doing what they're doing at this stage of their lives. You know what I mean?
Just to get a reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, like they go all over the world, wrestle fucking sometimes 7 days a week. It needs to, that's why we have so many death rates. Another thing which has stopped me watching wrestling as well, but I'm appalled by the amount of people who have died in this industry. And I blame Vince for a lot of them, because of his iron grip and his demand that these guys are constantly wrestling, which makes them end up doing painkillers and drugs and all types of shit, which ends up making shortening their lives because they're self-medicating. In a country which doesn't fucking have a national health service. No offense, Jose, I'm not taking the piss.
Yeah, I get it, man.
All of these things come home to roost. Yeah, and when you're in your 50s and 60s, that's it, man. You don't need to entertain. If someone like Jericho's it's got a library of fucking wrestling matches I can watch. 2 almost 3 decades of stuff I can watch. I don't need to see him wrestle anymore. Same with Sting. Let these guys go out with dignity. They don't need to wrestle anymore. Do we want to see Bret Hart or Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold?
Fuck
The Rock. I don't want to see The Rock come back in the ring. When he did make his return after Hollywood, he was shit. He's been in Hollywood for so long. He's lost the pace. There needs to come an end. An end needs to happen eventually. You know what I mean? We couldn't these guys.
It happens for everybody. I think
we can't keep flogging these guys.
But the thing is that I think that Sting would put over Darby because I think that
he doesn't need to though. Like, why's it got to be Sting?
Because he's fully Sting,
whatever. Yeah, but he's in his 60s. Does he need to do that? Do we need to take a chance on this legend putting somebody over when somebody else can put him over, like CM Punk or somebody like that? You know what I mean? Who's still got years in him? Before he hits his 50s. I think once you hit 50, you should be done. You know what I mean? You should be done. You know what I mean? You shouldn't wrestle ever again. It's just not. It's just if you do wrestle, then you should be getting $500,000 a fucking match. Yeah, just to make sure that your shit is covered in case some mishap happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Okay, as far as I go, I'm gonna dissect both WWE and AEW, starting with AEW. If I'm AEW and I'm Tony Khan, I'm asking myself, okay, I'm at 1 million viewers now. How the fuck do I jump up to 2 million if I can do that? That's the big goal for the year that I'm asking myself is what do I need to do to get up to 2 million views? Because 1 million views is all right, but 2 million would be better. I'm also not doing 100 moves a fucking match anymore. I don't know if you guys saw that shit with Ray Phoenix dislocating his fucking arm, but
I saw it.
they got to stop that shit. They need to stop doing all these crazy spots and moves just to get over.
Jose, these views are they only are they just American audiences or is worldwide?
I don't know about worldwide, but here in America, they're only getting like 1 million max for AEW, which is actually pretty bad compared to what it used to be. Because even a decade ago, when WWE was at their worst, they were still generating like 4 or 5 million viewers here in the States every fucking week. That shows you how far wrestling has fallen in the last decade.
Yeah, well, they're just over 1 million now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from 4 or 5 years. Yeah, but this is why I feel they need to branch out. You know,
They do.
worldwide. You know, like the world is not. I've always said this to my American friends. The world is not America.
Mm-mm.
You know, you have audiences all over the world. United Kingdom is your second biggest market. Australia, Europe in general.
That's another fucking thing. That's another fucking thing too that I'm hoping happens. I'm fucking hoping they pull the plug on NXT UK for you guys because I know Triple H has fucked the indie scene over there. I know that honestly, for sure.
It's a bit. I look at NXT as like the European Championship and stuff like that. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's bullshit. Like to UK, and then we never heard of it ever again.
Well, that's a real good match. He had Walter in it. He's a real good guy, and he's got
Walter and Dragunov. I know that was their big thing. Yeah. They did that, but
they couldn't fuel it because they end up having. Sometimes you have too much, and people can't keep up with everything. You know what? They were good with just Raw and SmackDown and a couple of highlight shows. That's all it is, but they just kept bringing up everything. Total Divas, this, that, and the other. Made it reality TV. Now people can't catch up. It's just too much. It's like you're bloated with content, and it swamps you. You think, I can't keep up with everything.
That's another thing too, because people also have to realize it's not just wrestling interest that has gone down. Look at fucking cable itself. Who the fuck wants to pay $270 for the max cable package? I don't, and I'm not going to. When I could just go on YouTube and catch the highlights and just be done with my day in 10 minutes. There's no point in sitting for 3. There's no point in watching 7 hours of wrestling in a week anymore. I could do that when I was in my 20s, but I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm in my 30s. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, considering we're fucking getting fucking worked to death nowadays, no one's got time to watch wrestling like they once did.
Nope.
You know, and people have like televisions by having a phone on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can watch all that shit while you're out and about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. You know, like people's phones are better than like computers from 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what they can do. You know, multitasking and everything. So yeah, it's just it's just like cable packages and pay-per-views and stuff like that. It's just not how it once was in my opinion.
And here's something that's going to make you laugh, Sam. They're not calling them pay-per-views anymore. Here's what the fuck they're calling them to make it sound like they're really like not losing money. Premium live events is what they're called now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's going to be the dumbass.
Yeah. Oh, Vince.
It's like calling Facebook Meta.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. It's like when you rename something and really it's not changed, it's just got a new name.
Yeah.
You know? Oh god. You know?
Like imagine how meta would it be if they called like the next MMO game MMO?
And the funny thing is pay-per-views were supposed to be about where you actually get to see wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays they're just glorified television
Raws.
shows.
Yep, that's all they are.
With lots of fucking promos and God knows what, and
hell, you know, even WrestleMania feels that way now because it's like the only thing WrestleMania about WrestleMania is probably the set. That's about it. I hate you feel like you're watching Raw. Yeah.
Like it takes them about 15 minutes for them to get to the fucking ring, the longest fucking runway ever. You know what I mean? I remember fucking when the NWO fucking were running in on DX and shit. By the time fucking Hall, Nash, and Hogan,
they got winded just by walking to the fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting them to come out in Zimmer frames and shit. Yeah. Like, oh god, it's like
you could see it too because it was like Hogan was like, and I'm like, damn, dude, how out of shape do you have to be just to fucking get to the ring?
they're blowing, man. Yeah, and yeah, I can't. You know what? WrestleMania it's lost its last.
Yeah, they had the 2 nights. And the thing is that I think the first night last year was not too bad, but the second night was atrocious.
Second night sucked.
It's still a 2-nighter now.
Yep, it's a 2-nighter now.
And the thing is that WWE sold so many stupid things. I mean, I don't think again, like AEW did the electrified ring. That's one ring, sorry.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's one of the things we got to cover in 2021 that they completely fucked up on. And then and then the funny thing is, they had Eddie Kingston go out there and sell it like he was unconscious. The ring explodes in sparklers. And Eddie Kingston tries to sell it like he's unconscious.
He's like that. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But as I said, like WWE tried to, well, I think did match them and overcame them with a couple of things. One which was the zombie lumberjacks.
Oh god.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, and then the other thing, which has got to go down as the stupidest decision I've ever seen in my life, which is, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. Obviously, you heard.
Oh yeah, with the fucking rope break. Yeah, with the rope break. Mm-hmm. Like they were.
And he starts to vibrate. He starts to vibrate like a fish.
And then the rope breaks. He falls off of it, and he's all like, "Oh!" And then he got speared, and he got beat. Only good thing I could say that really happened this year that I really liked was the return of Brood Edge has kind of been cool. That I kind of like so far. They brought back Brood Edge, and he and Seth Rollins actually had some really good matches.
I don't like seeing Edge back in the ring. I mean, I feel like the guy's not getting any younger, and he was out for almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Why that? Even though he might have been cleared, he's still one bad injury away from
permanent retirement for real.
From being in a wheelchair, dude.
Yep.
I remember that the injury he did get when the following day he went out and basically had to retire. And I remembered he was on the mat and you could just tell that there was something wrong.
Yeah, because didn't he get hit with a chair or something like that, and his back or neck got all fucked up?
All I remember is that he was going like this with his hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I know what it was. He had got hit with a chair by Brodus Clay, and then his hand started cramping up, and that was his neck telling him okay, dude, you got to get the fuck out of here. That was what his body was telling him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Well.
So it's just good to see. What's the word? Yeah, I said it's good to see Punk back. I mean, that's going to go down as probably the moment of the year.
Yeah, Punk coming back last year was probably easily AEW's best moment.
It was a realization.
Yeah.
In my opinion, with CM Punk, it's even though he wants to be more than just a wrestler, this is where it's at for him. He tried comic books, he tried MMA. Mate, you've got to accept what you are. You're
a wrestler. Yep.
And you're a very good one, and you're fantastic on the stick. You're very entertaining, and people love you. You know what I mean? And eventually, I think it dawned on him. But unfortunately for him, AEW came into the fray, and he seems to be a lot happier there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to treat him like a fucking god. You know what I mean? They're going to roll out the red carpet for him every time.
Well, because he's a star. I Brian Danielson. Fucking hell, what a year he's had.
Oh yeah, he's the only dude. He's the only dude to main event WrestleMania and an AEW pay-per-view in the same goddamn year. No one else has done that, and no one else ever will do that.
I mean, the thing is that the guy had really good matches with Kenny, with Adam Page, and Fabian. I mean, to the point that you could legitimately argue that this guy had 3.
He had matches of the year, yeah.
Yeah, he's had 3 fights of the year, yeah. candidates at least. And
then we have to acknowledge our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. That dude is the MVP of WWE this year, without a doubt.
I mean, how many days did he carry that belt? Like something like 511 or something?
He's coming up on it. He's coming up on it in like 2 weeks. He's got like 10 days to go, and then he will have been the longest reigning champion.
It took WWE, 5-6 years to realize.
To finally...
Yep. I mean, this guy who we were pushing like hell. Yeah, we should have made him heel a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, but they wanted him to be John Cena Part 2.
It didn't fucking work
because he ain't fucking John Cena. That's why. You know
no, but I like what they've done with him, where they've got him like basically being the tribal chief and like the head of the table. And all this
they made him a heel. Yeah, which is really what they needed to do. Yeah,
all along. Yeah, this is what it should have been.
And they should have done that a long time ago. You know, he's more of a Triple H than he is a John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Get the best out of him. You're the boss's favorite, not the fans' favorite. So treat him like the boss's favorite and make him a fucking heel. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what are we most looking forward to, if we're looking forward to anything in 2022 before we wrap this up? What are we looking forward to? What do we want to see?
Royal Rumble, I guess. I think Royal Rumble, for me, is the most interesting of the pay-per-views.
It's my favorite one of the entire year that they do. I always love the Royal Rumble.
Because for a start, it's not tradition. It's not traditional matches. It sets up WrestleMania. You know, it makes a superstar. Royal Rumble. One of the best. It made that with Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because Drew McIntyre won it 2 years ago and Edge won it last year, in my opinion, we're going to get a new guy this year.
We are.
I think so. You know, new guy this year. I don't know who it's going to be. Any contenders?
Shit. You could theoretically do a triple threat match unifying every fucking thing if you wanted to. If you had a guy win the Royal Rumble, and then he's like, you know what? I'm going to fight both you motherfuckers. But who would they have?
Do you think it'll be like? I mean, look, has Seth Rollins ever won it?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Forget that then. Do you think it would be like someone like Rick Steiner's son?
Could be.
Oh, it could be. They could do it. Dude, if they did like a winner take all, like NXT, WWE, and Universal shit, that would be cool if they did that.
An NXT guy, in my opinion, should win it. You want to put eyes back on NXT, make an NXT guy win it.
Mm-hmm.
And now put all eyes back on NXT, in my opinion. But
I'd like to see Braun Breaker be a superstar this year. Be on his way, because y'all need to start watching him, because he's really, really good at what he does.
There's people like Otis and stuff who have been very popular with fans for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you can just tell, like, but you know, does WWE ever go with the wind and say, okay, these are the people we need to push? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble as WWE title.
I know you wouldn't be. Yeah,
is he not eligible?
They've done that in the past where they've said, you know what, fuck it, we're going to put the WWE champion in there. And given the fact that they've released, like 80 guys last year, how the fuck are they going to get away with doing a Royal Rumble? Actually, scratch that. How the fuck are they going to get away with 2 of them? Because we haven't even given the women any love at all this year. Jade Cargill, congratulations to her. She has blown the fuck up in AEW. She's done some good shit.
Is there going to be a women's Royal Rumble?
Yeah, but I don't know who's in it.
Don't do a cat.
Maybe would it be 30 women, or because I think in the past they've had to get legends back, and
that's what they're going to do again this year.
Yeah, but it's just pointless, because like every legend who comes back is not going to win the fucking Rumble. They're just there to fill up the spaces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just an insult. It really is. Even though it's a good pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble, and it's the best one of the lot, in my opinion, much better than Mania. I think Mania drains itself by the end. Like, you just can't wait for it to be over.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, they haven't done a really good one in a while. That's the problem.
Last time I remember, I was genuinely excited in the modern era was when Kofi won a few years back. That was, I think, the last time I got really hyped. Bryan. Yep.
Yeah, that was good. You know, you almost felt it was written for him. And prior to that was when Daniel Bryan won it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was like pure fan force.
You know, because Vince actually had to cave in and be like, "Oh, God damn it, Now I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
listen to these peons. I gotta give them what they want.
But I've got to say,
Yeah, they're gonna hijack my show and shit.
WrestleMania 30 has to be my favorite Triple H entrance.
Yeah.
With the helmet and everything. Fucking, that was awesome. With the Shao Kahn.
WrestleMania is like, to a degree, like Triple H's fucking thing. Like, he comes in looking like fucking Conan the Barbarian or whatever. Every fucking
Shao
thing.
Kahn.
Shao
Yeah,
Kahn.
Shao Kahn.
You know, whatever it may be, fucking comes in there with his attire and stuff, and you know, he takes a long time to go in there. Has a 1 hour match usually, you know, because he has his wheels don't move as quickly as they used to. You know, he just hogs up my time. That's the thing with my problem with Triple H. He just hogs up so much time. You know what I mean? It's my time.
You could also even argue the same thing about The Undertaker. Even though I love The Undertaker, he's my favorite wrestler of all time, but the same point applies.
I hate his entrance. That's why I liked him as the badass. That's why I liked him as the badass. But the guy's on the fucking motorcycle. He's there in 5 seconds, zoom, zoom, you know what I mean?
The Astrodome entrance is going to be the best one he's ever done. The one in Texas when he fought Triple H the first time at WrestleMania. Because they had Limp Bizkit playing, and he just fucking opened that dome up, and he just
that was the time when Limp Bizkit was a good band. You know, even I used to like him.
Yep.
You know? Oh god, I feel dirty thinking that. You know, but yeah, fair enough. Now look, before we end this, we mentioned very briefly on our chat, on our messenger chat, that what would be Triple H's career.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
You know, if he didn't marry Stephanie McMahon.
Oh yeah, this is a good what if to talk about before we go. Ooh.
And I always said that someone like Triple H would be that reliable worker. You know, who'd be that Chuck Palumbo and all of these sort of guys. He'd be just lost in the mix. He'd have a look that is very generic to everybody else. Be able to talk and stuff like that. You know, not have the most flamboyant move set of all time. You know, he would still probably have the pedigree and all of that. But if he remained as this blue blood gimmick, then he wouldn't really be able to get out of that, and he would end up having to put people over. He'd probably get future endeavored at some point because there's no future for him, and he might even have ended up in TNA. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think had they like broke up or divorced or whatever the fuck, I don't know. I think Triple H would have most likely gone down to being a mechanic because, like you said, he was a good worker and he could talk. But I don't know if he would have been like the top heel of the company because Stephanie McMahon definitely helped make him a part of who he is as an on-screen character. But
yes,
I don't know.
The nepotism is hardcore in the WWE. You know, that's why I call Vince, you know, Trump on steroids. It's nepotism city. Yeah, you know, you got Steph, you got Shane, you got the son-in-law Triple H. You know, they were big elements of the company. I mean, Steph, she healed the fucking heels for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
Stephanie McMahon, the only bitch in the entire WWE roster that could emasculate every goddamn body and not get any comeuppance for it, because she's one of the only ones that, like, when you know you're going to encounter her, very rarely do you get payback. The last one I remember getting payback, and this is one of the reasons she needs to go in the Hall of Fame, is Vicki Guerrero. Vicki Guerrero is one of the only people to ever get her payback on Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, Vicki
not
Guerrero
many people do.
Legend.
Yep.
Vicki Guerrero is a fucking legend. You know, even though I don't believe in the afterlife, if Eddie Guerrero was up there, he'd be smiling hardcore.
Oh, guaranteed.
That his wife is more than just his wife. You know, she ended up, you know, separating, you know, getting out of his shadow, literally, no longer in the shadow of her husband. You know, and when she did make that one time that reappearance, I think people were really happy to see her again. She wasn't getting booed at the part because they forgot how good of a heel she was, and she's come back, and people were appreciating her, and WWE like blew it. You know, once again, really good talent. They blew it. You know?
You know you're dope. You know you were dope when Edge gets inducted in the Hall of Fame and he thanks Vicki Guerrero and they still boo her. That's how you know you've done a fucking job. That's how you know you've done your job.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Vicki Guerrero needs to go into the Hall of fucking Fame, big time. You know what I mean? But once again, I don't care about the Hall of Fame too much. At the same time, it's
2022. Induct the Undertaker. Let's get it done. Let's induct the Undertaker, please.
I care more about the Wrestling Hall of Fame than the WWE Hall of Fame.
I do
anything
too.
Anything connected with Vince McMahon, it just has this dirtiness about it.
Yes. I mean, the fact is that like the thing is that you look at how many talented wrestlers are in the WWE Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous. I mean, like Access Smash Demolition should be in there.
No, but
I don't care.
My issue.
Who else should be in there? The Dynamite Kid should be in there.
My issue with the Hall of Fame is that they're making it like a wrestling show. Like it needs a main event guy to be at the end of the show. They're not just treating it like a ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here we go. Like we need to have like some big name wrestler to put in at the end. Somebody who was, you know, top tier in the business.
Yeah.
You know, we need a Goldberg, we need a Rock, we need a Stone Cold, we need a Shawn Michaels. We need one of those guys to you know, just be the Christmas angel at the top of the tree.
You want to know the best? Yeah. You want to know the best Hall of Fame class there ever was when WWE did it? 2004, because it was the perfect setting. They only had talent and employees and their families, and that's the way the Hall of Fame should be. I would not allow fans in the Hall of Fame. Fuck that.
Well, look what happened to Bret Hart, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember the one where well, not only that, but I remember when she was live, Sherry Martel got put in. And
she fucking told that fan, "Shut the fuck up." Yeah.
Fans, unfortunately, fans in those fans can't separate. You know, like the candlelight fucking black tie events for wrestling events, and even then, even though I'm very, very much into fans hijacking wrestling shows,
not the Hall of Fame. Shut the fuck up.
Not award ceremonies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It reminds me of that time when fucking Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift and said it should have gone to fucking Beyonce. And Beyonce was like fucking face palming, thinking, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so, you know, I hate shit like that. You know, I do. You know, when it comes to those events, because especially when you're honoring people like Sherry Martel doesn't deserve that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he fucking doesn't deserve that. She's a fucking awesome person.
And this is going to sound weird, but I fucking hate it when the crowd booed John Cena. I'm like, the motherfucker's not in character. God damn it. This is an award ceremony. Shut the fuck up.
When was this?
Like 2007 or 8 when Cena inducted somebody. I don't know who he inducted, but they were booing the fuck out of John Cena, and like, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get as many boos. The funny thing is, nostalgia now with John Cena. You'll get less boos now.
Yeah, they chant that. They say he sucks just because it's like Kurt Angle. You suck, but it's because we respect you for all the years that you put in.
Exactly. So,
but we got anything to add before we wrap this up? I think that 2022. Let's induct the Undertaker in the Hall of Fame, please. Let's just get that out the way. It's time. Thank you, Undertaker.
What date is the Royal Rumble?
Let me look it up.
It should be coming up within the next week or two.
Yeah, because we might have to do that as a Friday show.
Preview and
review. Yeah. All right, Royal Rumble 2022. Give me 1 second. All right, that is January 29th, and that will be a Saturday. So actually, this is perfect. Oh, yeah, WWE pay-per-views are going to be on a Saturday now, so that actually works out for all of us because you guys will get to watch it. I'll get to watch it because fuck these pay-per-views being on a Sunday. And let's see, do we have any matches announced so far for this? All right, so we got Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. We got Becky Lynch versus either Bianca Belair, Doudrop, or Liv Morgan. And we got Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice. And the men and women's Royal Rumble matches.
Okay. That's at the end of the month. But we've got a few more weeks until then. And any wrestling news that we have, we'll let you know in our next week's show of Friday Night Breakdown. and maybe we'll try and figure out a jingle for this fucking show as well in the meantime. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen with us and you want to join our debate in the future, then don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, as well as Twitter. That was the other one as well. So find us on all these particular platforms. And we're not just here for wrestling. We have everything when it comes to nerdy needs, movie reviews, breakdowns, trailer reactions, you name it. We got it. We are the master of all trades, not the jack. All right, fellas, anything to say before we hang up?
No, I'm good.
Boss man? Excellent. Okay, then thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Take care and bye-bye.